What's up, everybody? This is your boy James. I am here with my co-host, SkoolBoi. You want to throw something in there before I go ahead, SkoolBoi?
No, I just want to say good evening to everybody. I hope everybody's happy and it's a happy Tuesday and let's
Absolutely,
get it.
absolutely. This is an amazing opportunity. First of all, we are this is our premiere podcast on the new podcasting network, UG Digital Podcasting and Radio, and this is Transcending the Culture. So we want to welcome you guys. We have a really great show in store for everyone today. Our guest is actually here with us early, so we're going to go ahead and really just kick it off with her. Everybody knows the many things that she's done out here in this industry. And if any of you are like me and like SkoolBoi, you have followed her for all of this time that she's been out here, not just with her solo work and with her group work, but everything that she's done for so many other artists out here. And now, just like so many other people, she has branched into another sector of her career as an author. So I want to start off by welcoming Meelah of 702 here to Transcending the Culture.
Thank you. Hey. Hey, thank y'all for having me. Thank you so much. What's up?
Um, Really, just to kick it off, and just like I was saying before, like we have followed you for so long. I remember the first time I connected with you, and we talked about 702, and it was like, well, we haven't you hadn't really been with the group in a while, so it was kind of like, okay, I don't know, what's really going to happen and if we're going to continue or just where things are. And now to kind of fast forward like a decade later, and you just did Carnegie Hall. Like you got all this different stuff going on, and you're out there touring. You did Essence Fest and all of the different shows, and that are going on. And now you are an author. So, like, how is that transitioning through this business and being here for as long as you have, and obviously still being relevant?
Mm. That relevant word is interesting, honey. It depends on who you ask, okay?
Yeah.
But I don't fall into that at all. Thank you, first of all, for that introduction. Thank you so much for pointing out, some of the highlights of my career, some in the past, some current. Thank
Right.
you. It's been nothing short of a roller coaster ride. But more so nothing short of blessed, you know what I mean? I mean, to still be able to, after having somewhat of a hiatus, be able to come back and kind of reconnect and jump back out there and do things as phenomenal as a Carnegie Hall, being invited back to Essence a third time, being able to join Usher's Lovers and Friends Festival this year for the first time. My goodness, we were invited to do a segment, a show and interview and engage with Yo-Yo, the iconic Yo-Yo for BET Her, for the BET Her 50 years hip hop, so we've been really pretty busy, man. And I'm just grateful to God. Like everything I just named was just within the past few months alone, So we reconnected back in 2017 and started touring 2018 to 19. And then COVID happened, of course, and we kind of, took a much needed break to kind of just like, I don't know, regroup, rethink, put things into perspective. Life changed a lot after COVID for everybody. And so anywho, we were able to finally kind of get our bearings and get back out there. So I'm grateful, so grateful.
Now, obviously, the biggest thing that we're discussing today is Zach's favorite socks. So, like, at what point in your career did you decide that, okay, I really want to be an author, and not just be an author, but I want to do something that obviously fits into my life and to the things that into my everyday?
I think, well, I wrote this book quite a while ago, and I just kind of sat on it for a minute. Don't ask me why, but yeah, it's this word called procrastination, but we're not that anymore. But that's the thing of the past. So I wrote it because I got a children's album out. This was back in 2013. I established a nonprofit, for autism awareness. I'm like, okay, what else can I do creatively for my son and just for other children? Not necessarily just kids on the spectrum either, but just in general, for kids. And add to my I guess my list of job titles, if you will. You know, I was blessed to be in this music industry since what, like 17 or something. So I was just like, all right, I've been doing this for a minute. So like, yeah, what else can I do that will be just as effective, just as powerful, and kind of in my own lane? And it just made sense. You know, I want to wave the flag and be the voice for my son and for other mothers and fathers who don't have a platform, who don't have a voice. You know, a lot of our kids are nonverbal, literally, and so we are their voice, like literally, figuratively speaking. You know, we really are who speaks for them. And so, you know, this was just something I felt that was really simple and in a good way, though, something that kids can relate to. Like, most kids love being read to. Kids love books. And if they don't like to be read to or like to read them, like my child, they at least like to collect them. You know, with autism, sometimes they line them up. Sometimes, you know, they're in alphabetical order. Sometimes they're color coded, you know, with all of these different behaviors that they have. And so I thought it'd be really cool to just be able to add to my son's book collection a book that I wrote, you know what I mean? Because we visit Barnes and Nobles all the time. I take my time when he was younger and let him pick out books. So I'm like, you know, why not let him see, you know, whether or not it registers, but why not let him see a book with his name on it? You know what I mean? Explain to him, like, look, this is about you, you know, a little brown boy. And yeah, so I thought that would be cool reputation.
Like how did he digest that? Like to be able to see a book with his, obviously with his name on it, and that's really all about him and his life.
You know, with autism, there's different levels, of course. And they're all different. And with my son, in his specific case, his comprehension is not set up that way to where, you know, he fully grasps and understands and comprehends, you know, what's really happening. He saw it, you know, but he's unable to make the clear, direct connection that, you know, this is a book about me that my mom wrote. Like, he can't really understand that. However, he sees his name, and I explained to him, like, you know, this is you when you were little. And he's just like, okay. He don't really care. He's 14 now, so he doesn't really care that much. He's like, where's my iPad, girl? Where's YouTube? Going on. He does not care that much. But it's cool because, you know, I know that in my heart of hearts, you know, he may not be as expressive. You know, he may not know how to be as expressive, but as long as he can physically see it, touch it, and add it with his other books in his room, I'm good. Yes.
Like, I think it's really remarkable, you know, obviously just everything that you know, likely have battled just in terms of keeping him moving forward and, you know, helping him get the proper resources that, you know, really should be coming to him. It makes me think of like Faith Evans, because, you know, just of the you know, the situations that she went through and how into the school systems that she has been. And you know, you have a lot of people who look at, okay, well, they haven't put out music, but if you really look at the backstory, you realize that she's been fighting the school systems and making sure that that, you know, Ryder gets the resources and whatnot that can be, you know, as an autistic child. Like, what was that like for you, you know, kind of maneuvering through all these years and really making sure that he got what was really deserved for him?
Right. Well, you know, again, all of these children are so different. And so every one of our circumstances and situations are different. You know, I'm in the state of Georgia, and in Georgia, I feel like we do have lots of resources. There are a lot of great programs out here for special needs children. My child has been in the public school system, surprisingly, since we started school.
But that's
and
beautiful.
it's because it's because the area that we're in is, you know, really, first of all, they cater to children on the spectrum because he was able to be in a special needs program before he was even diagnosed, a pre-K program for developmental delays before he was even diagnosed with autism. And at a public school, a regular elementary school, they dedicated a program for 3 and 4-year-olds who were delayed. And that was like right around the corner from my house at the time. You know what I mean? And so this area is just, thank God, they're very resourceful in that way with the schools, from elementary to middle school, and now we're about to start high school. Zach has been in public schools, but they've all been ASD classes. autism spectrum disorder classes. You know, he's been in a specific group throughout his entire education at regular public schools, but specific to his, you know, his diagnosis. They have different levels of autism classes. You know, he has several teachers, so it's like usually more teachers than kids. If it is more kids, it's about five students total. I think the largest class he's ever had is like maybe 10 kids, you know. It's always 2 or 3 teachers, and that matters, you know. And so I've been blessed to be in the area that I'm in, that just pretty much my life. And I know it was God designed, because I moved here from California and I was clueless. I didn't know what to do. You know, I didn't know where to go. And this is when I was still pregnant. I didn't know my child was gonna, you know, even need this type of assistance. So yeah, I mean, on the flip side, I know it's easy. You know what I mean? Because even though my experience thus far has been decent, you still have to fight. You still have to use your voice as a parent. Because there are certain things in their individualized education plans, you know, their IEPs, that you may want to add or you may want to remove, and they may or may not acknowledge that, you know. And then especially being people of color, you know, we're not always really valued or respected as much. And then when you're a parent that's really hands-on, you know, they're kind of taken aback. You know, nobody really knows who I am at Zach schools. If they do, they've Googled or they've heard word of mouth. I've never made it clear. Like I don't walk in with a bull. Like I don't announce it. I don't announce it as my at all, right? Because my thing is, look at me as Zach's mom. That's all you need to know.
Absolutely.
You don't need to know nothing else about what I do in my real life. You don't need to know nothing else about what's going on after I leave here. Like, no, because I need them to understand that I'm very serious. Don't judge me because you think I'm always on tour. Like, no, I'm a very hands-on mother. You know what I mean? Yeah. I get on their nerves, trust me. So, and you have to.
But I think that's evidenced by how well he's doing. And I even think back like to my son, and you made a comment and you said that, you know, when you're extra involved, you know, they're kind of taken aback, and it's like they don't really expect it. And that's the thing, is that you have to be involved and you have to let them see you and see that you're really about business and that you're serious, because then your kids end up getting more of the resources that they really wouldn't have access to. Absolutely. If they didn't realize that the parents are, you know, really involved and really care about it.
Absolutely. And it's hard. It's not easy. You know, I can only imagine having to, you know, fight with these school systems who, of course, you know, they hear you, but they don't hear you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they go home. Like, you know, they're not going to fight as hard for your child as you are. Yeah. And that's why you have to stay on top of them. And it's really just, like I said before, it's really about your individual child and what works for them. You know what I mean? It's like what works, what environment works, what types of teachers work, you know, what types of what's the curriculum, like all that stuff really matters. You know what I mean? What works for one, like mine, may not work for another, you know, or vice versa. So it is sometimes trial and error as well.
Absolutely. So Zach's favorite socks, like talk a little bit about this book and obviously the story behind it, and, you know, what kids will be able to get out of this book when reading it.
So basically Zach's, so the character Zach is excited about his first day of school. He's going to the first grade, and oh my goodness, he's got these socks that are his favorite that he always wears. He, you know, he sleeps in them, he plays them, he wears them out. I mean, they are his favorite. Okay.
So that's like Linus in his blanket.
That's right, exactly. You know, it's his clutch. He needed it. So right. That's what makes him feel safe. And so, you know, he has to have them for the first day of school. How he's not, I mean, he can't start school without them. So he can't find them. And he's like, all of a sudden, like not excited to go to school anymore because he doesn't have his favorite socks, you know? So, you know, by the end of the book, it's really just telling the story of how he goes to school without his socks. And even though he's happy to be there and see his old friends, he's not really focused on anything other than where his socks are. So, you know, by the end of it, he gets home and he's trying to figure out where those socks are. And mom is, you know, she's there, and instead of her going out and getting her nails and toes done, she has chosen to stay home and find his socks.
No mani-pedi for mom.
Right. Well, you know, she wants peace of mind. She needs peace of mind tonight. She needs to sleep tonight. So she's like,
get them socks. ASAP.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, I just, the kid in the book, of course, is verbal, and so he's able to be expressive and kind of, it really deals with the ups and downs of his emotions. He starts out excited, and then it's like, oh, woe is me, where my socks, and then that turns into like sadness, frustration, maybe a little bit of anger. By the time he gets home, he's all this anxiousness, and so it just kind of explores children's different emotions as well, and just kind of, I think, showing a supportive parent, and her patience and not getting frustrated with him being frustrated, but really being there for him and trying to help him maneuver through all of these different feelings. So I don't know. I want parents and kids to understand how to use their parents, understand to be patient, first of all, and the kids to use their words and express how they're feeling. And it's okay how they're feeling, but just try their best to be expressive. Because, like my son, he gets frustrated. And because he's pretty much nonverbal, he's unable to really, talk it out. So he'll just stomp his foot when he get upset. Just slap his thigh, like, or a little like and I'm like,
yeah,
sir, calm it down and
yeah,
figure it out. Slow down, say some words.
right.
He doesn't know a whole lot of words. He can say a few. So the ones he can, I'm like, take your time, use your words. And so it's really hopefully just motivate kids to communicate and talk it out.
Yeah. Now, I imagine that, obviously seeing to him and making sure that he has everything that he needs in his life is a job in itself. So, like, how do you balance that with now you're touring and you're doing shows and Carnegie Hall and just all the different stuff that's going on? Like, how are you able to still kind of maintain and balance in a way that it doesn't affect him because you're out working?
It's been tough since I lost my mom, who was
right. And I'm sorry about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. She was, of course, grandma, and we know how grandmas are. If mom ain't around, granny stepping up if mom ain't around.
Absolutely.
So now that mom is gone, it's been exponentially hard because it's literally just me and my son now. But I have a huge family. My family flies in for me, from home, Vegas. My sister, my brother-in-law come up all the time. They'll be here Thursday, as a matter of fact. They're in Virginia, and it's family effort. My niece just graduated college, and she even took a little time on her summer break and came and watched him for me. But I'm grateful to have my tribe. Of course, he's with dad sometimes, but we both travel so much. He travels even more than me, so we split the difference, and we try to. But mostly, it's my family who, thank God, they come on board and they watch him for me while I'm out of town. And I just make sure when I'm going to FaceTime him every time I'm gone. I FaceTime him to say good night. I FaceTime him to say good morning.
Absolutely.
FaceTime him to tell in the shower. I FaceTime him to say go to sleep.
That's the beauty.
He sees me.
That's one of the beauties of technology, and obviously being able to FaceTime and stuff like that. And kids are so much into technology and whatnot now that really helps out.
Oh, listen, all I got to do is press FaceTime, and I know my son is right there on the iPad. And sometimes he doesn't answer, trying to be slick.
I was just getting ready to say, listen, my son he's turning 17. I'll call him, and he'll purposely not answer the phone.
So he don't bang the line and just be like, because some of them will bang the line. You just play the voicemail.
I had to get on him. We got on that about him. We got on him about that. Me and his dad, like, look, when you see mommy calling him, when you see daddy calling, press the button. Like, he's smart enough that he knows what we talk about. Like, stop playing with me.
Yeah. No, I think
straight
I think it's really dope. Obviously it takes a lot, when you have, children who are on the spectrum, and ADHD is, I'm quite sure, is nowhere near, like, I'm sure I didn't deal with anywhere near the stuff that you had to deal with. But, when you start dealing with 504 plans and just trying to make sure that they're getting all of the stuff that they need, and making sure that you're there at the, the meetings at the school and just the different events. It's a whole lot. So, like, my hat's off to you, because I, like, as a father, and like, I know, it take a lot.
Man, it's a whole lot. It's really been nothing but the grace of God, man. But I do. I mean, I'm grateful, like I said, for my family.
Yeah, the
I have to give
is so important.
props, but they showing up. But I will say, it's tough day to day when my village has to, they gotta be over their tribe as well, and they can't necessarily be here for me. Like the day to day stuff does get a little overwhelming. Like you said, you have to show up at the IEP meetings. Shoot, we got open house in a couple of days. We need to do school shopping. We need to make sure, he's had all his doctor's appointments or whatever, whatever, this visit and that visit. And it's I'm a single mom, so it's not
even from a father standpoint, I absolutely get it. Like my hat's off to you because I know like
it's a lot. Sometimes I just gotta grab a bottle of red wine and look.
That's why I ain't
grab a bottle of wine. Listen, I'll be like,
y'all do a lot. Y'all do a lot. That's a ministry I ain't in.
Take your time.
But my aunt, like my cousin is autistic, so she has a hard time, and he is verbal, but things for little Gilbert is very delayed. So having to say two or three times, and he'll still be standing there looking at her, and she'll be like, "Did you just hear what I said?" And he'll say, "Yeah." She said, "So why you not doing it?" So I definitely, and she gets frustrated too. She gets frustrated too. And then I have a friend who has a child that is nonverbal, but he's 13, but he has the mind of an 18-month-old. So he's nonverbal and he can't speak. He can't do anything for himself. So it's 24/7, her hands on as being a mom. So I'm used to, hearing of my friends' struggles and the things that they go through. And I have to give it hats off to the single moms that do it because it's a lot.
It is. I'm here with you guys and I'm just answering questions and giving you things, lightly. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sharing bits and pieces. This is surface answers. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But you're so right, SkoolBoi. Like for real. Like, oh my gosh, I can relate to both stories because my son's 14 now, but even though he's 14, developmentally, he's depending on the day, he may be 9, 7, maybe 10. It depends on the day. We're entering 9th grade, but we're still on a 2nd, 3rd level. Do you know what I mean? And so his comprehension is also there. And so, I talk to him now like a straight up grown up. I talk to him very adult. I do. And, sometimes he understands. I have to. Sometimes he understands, sometimes he may not. Now, sometimes I'll try to reword it and talk to him very slowly and really break it down. But, he's 14 now. So I went through all of that for his early years. You know what I mean? Like kind of how you talking about your friend. Like, man, when they're toddlers and they're, really that young, or when they're, like you said, 13 and they're really still, like, trust me, I've seen Zach grow out of a lot, come out of a lot, but then I've kind of seen him regress with some things and kind of go back to doing some things that he had come out of. Yeah. It's every day. It's just up and down. So yeah, it's so child. It does get frustrating for sure because you do have to repeat yourself. You have to.
Like, what has the whole process taught you about yourself?
Oh man, I just answered this the other day when I was doing an interview, and I was just like, it definitely has taught me that I'm more patient than I give myself credit for. I'm more patient than I thought I was, or that I knew I could be. Because listen, I get frustrated, and there are times when my patience is short and my tolerance is low. But overall, it's taught me that I'm very strong. Listen, I was my caregiver. She lived with us, me and my son. It was very unexpected. My mother was always healthy, never sick leave, never on any medication. I was her twin. She looked like me, youthful. You know what I'm saying? And it was unexpected. And so to lose her like that out of nowhere, and be her caregiver, taking her to the hospital and all her appointments every day, watching her go through that whole chemo and all of that, and being sick so much, and then still having to, be here for my son and take him to school, and you know what I'm saying, and still be in his life and entertain him and raise him. It was a lot. I went through that for the past almost 2 years, and by myself, outside of my sister coming in, and so what I'm saying to you is What I learned about me is that I am gangster. I'm very strong, clearly, because I don't know how I got through all of that. Like looking back at it, it was a whole lot. A whole lot. My mother went through a lot. And looking back, Jesus, and I had to I had to go pick Zach up from school and stuff. It was days when I almost I had to call school a few times. My mother just got sick out of nowhere and was in the emergency room. And not to get all deep into the story, but when she passed away, it was here in my home. And school called me. It was like, and I'm like, oh my God, like his school never calls. Don't tell me something wrong. What? I just lost my mom. I can't take nothing else. I'm like, what? Is Zach okay? They're like, yes, Williams, we left him at school. He's still here. We're waiting for you. What? I left my child at school. They got out early. Not for but my mom had just passed in the bedroom 20 minutes prior. So I was like, I'm on my way, but again, I'm saying all to say I've done a lot by myself. My sister and my niece were my sister and my aunt were here when my mother passed, but to get a phone call from my son's school and say, girl, you don't left him up at the school, that's never happened, is my point. Absolutely. Oh, so
it shows it shows the human aspect. And that's the beauty of like what we're doing with Transcending the Culture. And when we connect with people, like we want to kind of bring out and really accentuate like the human side of you. And
that's all I know how to be. So y'all get that from me, trust me. I don't know how to do no interviews any other kind of way these days. The media training is out the door that we got back in the 90s. Honey, you gonna get the real me.
Woo, yeah, we know. We see it.
Oh, I'm sure. Right. The other side of that is right. The no filter.
Right. Now, so for Zach's favorite socks, like, do you see this kind of becoming, I guess, almost like a series, or do you see yourself doing other books?
Absolutely. So this is just the first. I would love for this to be the first part of a series. I'd like to create a few books on this character for sure. Even create some more music, like another children's album to go alongside with it. I mean, it'd be even greater to have like a television series for it. But for sure, this is going to be the first of a series of books. Absolutely, yes. Yeah, that's the goal.
I'm super fascinated with people. Number one, with people who do children's books, but working with Brandon, and he works with CJ Watson also, and he's got the children's book series, and I'm like, I love that. And, obviously learning more about Zach's favorite socks, I was just like, I really love this concept. I love the idea. Like, I love being able to do something that really relates to your own life and it relates to your kids. And they can kind of like, I think all that stuff matters. So one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to run a contest here on the platform where we give away a couple digital copies of Zach's favorite socks.
Oh, nice. So thank you so much.
Really cool.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think that's dope. I think, this will touch a lot of people that are experiencing the same thing or have they're not autistic, special needs children, just in general. Yeah. I think it's good to have that voice out there for single moms that are going through this, because you gave a good testimony to those that are experiencing this and know, you're not the only one out here going through the same thing.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And I want everybody to know that, they are not alone, and don't be ashamed to speak up for your child. Don't be embarrassed, it's okay. You know what I mean? And, our children only have us that are going to do right by them. And God gave them to us this way for a reason. We may not understand why, because I sure didn't understand why in the beginning,
Right. And it's a lot to take in, like when you first find out that that is an issue. Because even like with my son, it was like I was in denial, and and it was his teacher who pointed it out, and I was just like, ain't nothing wrong with him. Listen, ain't nothing wrong with him. He playing with these toys.
Us, black dogs. We quick to say that off. Ain't nothing wrong with him.
I think it's the way that like we're brought up when we're younger. Like they didn't talk about autism and ADHD and whatnot.
Right.
Like so,
there was no word for it.
In denial, and it took like a lot of parents would do. I said, okay, well, he's going to bed at 8:00, and we ain't gonna be doing this. And it worked for about 2 or 3 months, and then it was like it tapered off. and then he was right back. And his issue was that he cannot focus in class if he didn't take the medication. So
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a real thing.
I didn't
Listen,
want to put him on the medication. Like, we hear so much about our kids being on medication, and I was just like, no, we're not giving him that.
yes,
And
I'm with you. I'm one of those. I know.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it took like trying it out and then seeing, damn, like he really is, like he paying
Different.
attention, like,
Wow.
and it worked. And it was like his grades had dropped down, but then once he started taking the medication, grades went back up, and he's been good for the rest of the time. So
Look at
it's
that.
like
And-
he's a senior now. And I mean, he played football, baseball, basketball, because we had actually moved to the Columbus, Georgia area. And
Okay.
we actually live in Phoenix City, Alabama. And
Okay.
he was doing down there, he played baseball and basketball and football, and he's doing all the same up here. He's in the band, got a job, driving. So
that's so incredible.
Cool.
That's awesome.
But
Thank
we
you
need
for sharing.
people like you. Like, we need people like you who
Mhm.
kind of put a story to it and be able to tell people, like, this is what's happening with my child, and these are the
Right.
things that we're doing, and these are the resources that are out here if anybody needs it, because we
Mhm,
like for
mhm.
years we never had anybody really putting a face to it.
Yeah, and I think it's because, you know, a lot of times we are, like I said, either ashamed or afraid or embarrassed or just nervous or just protective. You know, we don't have to tell it. It is your private business, you know.
Absolutely.
But at first I didn't want to share it because I'm like, you know, I'm a very private person anyway. But I'm like, but then why not? Because I'm helping so many more people. You know what I mean? Like, use your voice for those who don't have one. You know, like if you're gonna have a whole lady, why not? You know. Thank you for sharing what you just shared, because you know there's so much controversy with medicine and all that. And my son has not been diagnosed ADHD, but I wouldn't doubt that he is. His focus is very okay.
Yeah.
And usually, honestly, ADHD and autism kind of run hand in hand most of the time, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Kinda
It just
hard for them.
like when you it kind of took like me taking him to actually have like the testing done and to sit with the doctor, and it was just like going into the room with this doctor, and you go in and you like, ain't nothing wrong with him, he's fine. And then the doctor is talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, look at this fire truck." And the doctor asking him questions, and he's like, "Where did you get the truck from?" And I'm like, it really is something going on. Like, he's not focusing in on what's going on.
Yeah. Well, good for you, Dad. For taking him.
I just try. I
Getting
mean,
him on the medication. That's for real.
Like, I just try, and like the one thing that I will say is, like, I have had an amazing village. So like, his mother and I were married at the time, and then like my parents, her siblings, my sister, like, we were really, really good, and we had a lot of people like really, really backing us. And then we both worked at healthcare, so it's like working at the hospital. You got doctors and nurses and everybody looking out for you and giving you Similac and giving you this and diapers and everything else. So
so y'all was straight, okay?
Yeah, so we was good. Like, his childhood, even given this, you know, the scenario, it's been really, really good. Like, it's been a good
blessing. That's awesome. That's excellent. That's to hear. God bless you and your family. Seriously.
Thank you.
I'm just grateful for the opportunity, and hopefully I will, you know, another book soon, because I mean, people need to know why these socks are his favorite. Like, what do these socks do, child? So we
absolutely.
We need to know. We need to get all the series.
Right. Why are they your favorites? That they probably need to be thrown away. They got holes. Let it go.
That's when they feel the best, when they holy.
Right. When you can let when you big token breathe, right?
Yep, the big token breathe out of them. That's the best socks.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
No, actually, my Zach he does not like when he has a hole in his socks. He spazzes out. So, oh God, we have to go through that constantly. He'll come up to me and dangle them in my face, or just, you know, just hold it out. And I'm like, what? But what, boy? You know, and I'm like, no, use your words. Sock. I'm like, what about the sock?
Right.
You can do it. You can do it. What about the sock? Tell me. Come on. I'll push him, make a sentence. And he can't say a whole lot of words, but he'll just be like, sock asshole.
I think at some point, like, I think at some point he's gonna really look back And you know, obviously, I'm quite sure he's grateful, but like he's really gonna look back and say, like, my mom was like kick ass. Like my mom was amazing. Because like that's
I hope so, because I get on his nerves so bad. I stay on him so much. Like,
listen, my son is half mad at me right now because we got him a car. He got his license, got him a car, and within 3 weeks he crashed it and totaled it. So it was just like, now he has spent the last, and he works at McDonald's, so he has spent the last month and a half working, and saving up money to get another car. So he got him a car today. And
look at her hustling.
Right.
He got he paid for it. So then it was like, well, damn, I kind of don't have no choice but to pay for his insurance today. So I paid for his insurance, but then I'm like,
come on, Pops, look.
I have to be moving forward. But I'm like, I'm kind of on his nerves right now because I kept saying, like, you don't need another car no more. Like, you just crashed the car that you had for 3 weeks. You do not need another car. So I'm kind of on his list right now, but
he's gonna do better this time. He's
gonna do better.
He will, but I know that your son will look back and like he's gonna say, like, my mom really did it for me, and my grandma really did it for me. Like to have that.
I hope so. You know, I don't know if his brain is set up that way, but you know, I try my best. But I still my love on him, so I know he'd be like, "This one crazy heifer," because I be.
Yeah, I mean, I just imagine like how would,
because like, 1 minute I'm like loving on him, and the next minute I am going off. So,
but I just don't feel bad. My auntie be doing the same thing. I be on the phone with her. She be screaming, "Look at her! Why you not doing something? I told you to do something." He'll say, "Huh?" And she said, "I didn't. I just tell you to go do so and so so." Oh, well, I was doing that. No, you wasn't. And she'll get frustrated. And then she has to realize that she'll calm down and she'll be like, "I'm sorry for yelling at you.
You start feeling bad, yeah."
I need you to do what I told you to do 2 minutes ago.
Same here, man. Same here.
So we definitely may do a series. Where else do you feel like you want to take this to?
Well, I'm going to Vegas soon. I'm setting up, of course, Brandon may have mentioned a book signing there. I did one in Tampa. I did one here in Atlanta, but I'm going to do more here in Atlanta. I only did one so far. And I'd like to just, I mean, if this could just become a global thing even. But, you know, right now I'm still learning a lot. Like I see now with this book what I could have done better, you know, what I could have changed. You know, I'm looking at, say, like the font or the texture of the pages, or, you know, like I'm looking at every little detail now, which I did at first. But now that I really have it out there, I see just some things that I would want to change or just, you know, adjust, if you will. So I'm just like, this was just kind of cool as a learning curve and just kind of figuring out just different options. Because right now, I think it's only available online at Barnes & Nobles and Amazon. And of course, the Barnes & Nobles that I go to physically, they have the book in store where you can purchase it physically. But what I'd like to do for this book is add, that's what I need to do. I know what I'm supposed to do today. I need to add, add an option for like an ebook and also an Audible. You know,
but
so
you should do like maybe like you should do like maybe a library tour too. Like a lot of authors, they do library tours where they go and they actually read the book at the library. And
so I've been talking about that as well. I want to go actually to the hospital since Zach was in the NICU at birth. You know, he was in there for like 2 months before he came home. Like, he didn't even come home for 2 months. So, you know, of course, the NICU has a special place in my heart. So I want to go to like the children's hospitals and read to the kids. I did a photo shoot with St. Jude's a couple months ago, you know, for kids that have cancer. And so I'd like to do something at St. Jude's, you know, where I can go and read to the kids. I think that'd be really awesome.
It absolutely would be. I know, I mean, just from working in the hospital for 20 years here in Cleveland, it's like they would love that. Like to see someone.
I would love that. That would warm my heart. That would make me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
They
you
would
know what I mean?
love that. And I could see like definitely like with St. Jude's, like that would be amazing. And so many of the kids who are in there are like driven by music and whatnot. So like a lot of them would know who you are anyway. Like I think that's
their mom and dad might know, honey, or the nurses might know, not the children.
You would be surprised. Like
You tried it, friend. Thank you.
No, listen. You would absolutely be surprised. What I'm finding today with a lot of the current generation is they know a lot of the '90s music.
Well, that's
Even
true. That's true.
even with my son, he knows '90s music. So like he know the SWVs and the 702s.
Your
Yeah,
son know 90s music. What year was he born?
And he was born in 06.
Oh,
well, you know
shit.
what?
He know all of it.
Y'all probably did. You play it around him? You guys probably played around him.
I did. And
Okay,
I still play it today. So it's
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's what my sister and my brother-in-law, they did that with my niece. My niece is 22, but she loves all the 90s and early 2000s music, and hip hop. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that. Good job. Another kudos to you for that, Dad. Good job.
Well,
take another clap.
You're right. Again, I really just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on this platform.
Thank
again,
you. No,
we like to be able to show the human side and to be able to show what's really happening in life, even outside of the music and other things, like the things that you're doing to really inspire and transcend the culture. As the title suggests, we really want to bring people on here who are elevating this culture and doing stuff for us that we're really going to benefit from as we move forward with our kids and with ourselves and all of that. So thank you for everything you do. Keep singing.
Yes, God.
Little known fact. I don't know why, as much as I have listened to you and I've listened to Missy, I never realized that you sang on Take Away.
Take Away.
Mm-hmm. You didn't know that?
I never realized that there were two different versions of it. There's one with me, there's one with Tweet.
You could have called me. I would have told you.
Right.
I don't know how I didn't know that. But listen, I love everything.
Well, and it gets confusing for the fans because like you, a lot of people didn't even know there were two versions. Most people know that there was a version released after I recorded it with her. She did a video version with Tweet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So most people know the video version. That's what it is. Most people know, equate that. It's just like what's that fabulous song where he remixed So Into You? Yeah. Originally, there's a copy with Ashanti, and then there's a copy with Tamia.
Yes.
It's two different, but people don't really know.
I don't think I knew that. I didn't know that. Thank you. Thank you for schooling me, SkoolBoi. Okay. I didn't know that.
I'm a 90s head. This morning, as soon as I hit it on, where my girls that hit on the Pandora, I said, "Oh, look at God!"
Right.
Just coming in this morning. I was driving to work.
Right.
Put that back, child.
Right.
No, you know, I did that song with Missy back in 2001 or 2002 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago, 2001 or something like that. I love that song. That's one of my faves. And then Aaliyah passed, and they did her and Tweet did the video, and I did the video, and they dedicated it to her. But my version was an album version. So my version, I think, is on Apple Music. The streaming.
Yeah, it is on Apple Music.
Mm-hmm. It's digital, I guess, and then like you said, SkoolBoi, visual is the other.
Yeah.
But both dope, because me and Tweet both, we both dope. So I mean, I'm just
yes, now both are dope. That's what I'm trying to say. If y'all come through Dallas, I'm definitely coming to one of y'all shows. If y'all come through to Dallas.
Absolutely.
Oh gosh, okay, Dallas. I gotta remember that because we be coming to Texas, so I gotta remember that.
So Dallas, Cleveland, if you come here,
we be coming to. Oh my gosh, we were just. Oh my god, I gotta remember because we was just there and there. I feel like now I know.
We so need you. I look back at everything that you guys have done, and you laid out Beat Me 911. I listened to that.
I like that one too. Thank you.
And just everything I Still Love You. We actually posted a flyer, and I put I Still Love You on there. I'm like this is so good.
I love that song too. Pharrell did his thing with that one, man.
Listen.
That's a special song. It's a special tune. It is.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. That whole album, that whole
album,
just right.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. That album unfortunately didn't really get a lot of life, a lot of push, due to politics. But unfortunately, that's the music industry. But the cool thing is, songs like I Still Love You that wasn't even officially a single still got life of its own. We took off, with wings of its own because it's that good,
Well, before we close out with you, any kind of final words, final comments, anything that you really want to get out there about Zach's favorite socks?
No, the fact that it's out. So please go and support. Like I said, it's on Amazon.com. And when you go to Amazon, type in Zach's favorite socks book. Because if you just put in Zach's favorite socks, like some random socks come up. But let's Zach's favorite socks book. Okay. It's gonna come a point where I'm always an author and you're gonna have to do all that. But on barnesandnobles.com, you can just put in Zach's favorite socks. And it'll come right up. So just please support the book, and thank you in advance for those who are going to get it. Those who have already gotten it, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the love. And just be on the lookout for part 2, and thank you guys for having me today. I appreciate chatting with y'all and for giving me a platform to promote the book. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Of course. I'm gonna hit you when I come to. But you said Dallas, not Houston.
Dallas. Yes, Dallas. Okay. Let me know when you come to Dallas.
Texas is big. I gotta
make sure. I drive to Houston. It's about 4 hours. I drive.
Oh, so I ain't gonna make you drive 4 hours now. Okay, all right. Thank y'all so much.
You are so welcome. Thank you. You have a good evening.
You too. Bye, James.
Bye-bye.
Wait, how do we get out of this?
Listen. When I tell you that was dope as shit, like I think that was really, really dope.
We're definitely gonna tag the links in so where y'all can make the purchase at, so y'all can support. We're definitely gonna give away some digital copies of the book. So I don't know how James want to do that, but we could just do that. I don't know, random pick or however you want to do that.
I think we'll do. I've been trying to figure that out all day. I think we're gonna do like a random pick. And I'll just buy like 3 copies of it, and then we'll give them out that way. Definitely a good book. Like I can actually say I done sat up and I done read a children's book. So I think it's dope. I
think I'll buy it. So if you buy 3, then I'll buy 3, and then we can give away at least 6.
See, that's dope.
So in that way, I want to match your energy.
Listen. I appreciate it. I know that the fans appreciate it. We appreciate everybody being on here. Look, I'm still learning this, SkoolBoi. Now look.
It's like working in the old folks home.
Look, I don't.
So what? We going into hot topics? So we we gonna transition y'all into hot topics.
Yeah,
it's some stuff going on in these streets. We need to
listen. I'm still on that mess with Carlos.
Carlisha King.
Why when you sent me that message earlier, I'm like, Carlisha.
It ain't no disrespect to Carlisha. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna take away from what he has done for reality TV.
Absolutely.
But my issue with him was that all that gaslighting in the interview was unnecessary.
Absolutely.
And it low key pissed me off.
I mean, we just gonna put it on the table. Like he was, and I sent you a text message. Like he was absolutely kissing her ass.
But he didn't make her whole like accountability. That I think that's what was pissing me off.
Absolutely.
Like Nene, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say Nene did not have. It was iconic. You have to understand. You're comparing a show from 9 years ago, season 6, iconic. To season 15 that we're on.
Iconic.
Well, I mean, hell, after Tiffany.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, who else was next?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna take away from what she brought to the brand. Absolutely. But when you compare, they only got 500,000 views, 500,000 homes to 5 million when you produced this, sir. But did you see the ensemble cast that you had that last year? You had Phaedra, you had Kenya, you had Portia, you had Cynthia Bailey, you had Candy. Who else was on the cast that year? You had Nene, and then
Sheree was gone.
Sheree was gone.
Yeah,
so it was them 6, right?
Yeah, I think it was just them 6 because Sheree was gone.
So
gone. Kim.
Them personalities right there all were strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What you
And
had
the
then
mirrors,
and
you have,
now is different.
yeah. Because a lot of the people who are on there now, I mean, no disrespect, but a lot of them are not as strong as what they were before.
First of all, everybody keep coming on Housewives trying to duplicate what's already been seen. And
Absolutely.
that's the problem.
Absolutely.
Nobody's being authentically them. Everybody's trying to be what they've seen on the show before
Absolutely.
and what used to work. Like,
Absolutely.
so what it doesn't work. And let's be clear, Nene's last couple seasons suck.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I just think that I think that she gives herself more credit than what she actually deserves. And again, not to take away from what she brought to the brand, because I do think that she brought a lot to the brand. Like I would never say that she did. I just think that she holds herself in a much higher regard than what she really should. And I think that Carlos was kissing her ass on that. Like
Alicia was doing a lot and he was fanning out, and that's what was irritating me. But you weren't holding Nene accountable for the things that
that's what I should be saying. He was fanning out.
He didn't hold her accountable. Nene's attitude got her to where she is now.
Yeah.
You may have built the house, but baby, you got evicted.
You got evicted though.
You ain't even in. You can't even come back on a friend level. So
What you say? She can't even come back without a peach.
You can't even just show up like Sharice do on Potomac in the scene for free.
Right.
Because it's just at this point in juncture, I just need Nene to accept that the ship has sailed. They ain't asking you back no more, man.
Yeah.
It's done. Just like you said, the door is closed. The door is closed on you with them.
Yeah, and then it's just like all of the stuff that ensued after that, like when you start looking at the lawsuit and just all the other different stuff, the shenanigans that.
And once you sue, you definitely ain't coming back.
Yeah, it's kind of a wrap. So yeah, it's pretty much a done deal.
You pretty much, I think she's pretty much blackballed.
Yeah, in every way right now. And I mean, I won't go so far as to say it's no coming back from that. She won't be on the Housewives anymore. But
I don't think she'll be able to be on reality TV unless it's connected to Ghetto Zeus Network.
Yeah.
And then they're not gonna pay her what she's gonna want astronomically as far as money. Nene's gonna be about that bag, and I don't see them paying her that. And then she's not gonna want to talk about nothing that people are really gonna want to talk about.
Absolutely.
So it's best that you go on and sit down.
Listen, we got some really dope comments here.
Take care of that restaurant over there. That's high as hell. Then I got terrible service at.
Is it even still open? You talking about the
Lenitia's? Ooh.
Is it still open?
And from what I was understanding in Atlanta, it is, but she was trying to sell it.
See, I remember that. And that was like a year ago or whatever. So
I don't know if she actually sold it, if it's still in function or not, or if she let it go. But it just ain't nobody paying no $40 to park in the supermarket parking lot. You need to come on, man.
I mean, listen. They be capitalizing on the money that people got down there, or the money that they think people got down there.
Because Atlanta ain't nothing but smoke and mirrors. Everybody broke.
Listen,
I'm sorry, it ain't what you think it is.
You ain't saying nothing but a word. I know.
I mean,
from going down there. From going down there as much as I do. I know. So yeah, smoke and mirrors, baby. So that look on your face.
I ain't trying to be, I ain't trying to get people business, financials or nothing. But I'm just saying, people ain't got it.
And then the cheese and crackers, baby. Listen.
Oh, the cheese and crackers. Who had cheese? Cheese is good. That's one of my favorite snacks. And even the dog like them too.
What's up with your girl Carly? She done got fired from her job now.
Somebody tried to argue with me down today on Twitter.
And I mean, what they say?
Well, the statement didn't come from her. They came from the lawyer, so that ain't really what she said. Ma'am, the statement came from her to the lawyer saying that she lied about the kidnapping. What part of that don't you understand?
It's
Are
all
we in a failure to communicate comprehension? Like, you know, when the police department is corrupt. Corrupt about what? We talking about FBI, Homeland Security, all them people, National Guard, and the lady ain't lying.
I think that, you know, the thing that pissed me off the most was that, you know, like, you know, when the story first started coming out, and you know, everybody was like screaming mental health, and I'm like, why are we attaching mental health to this? And just say she lied. Like, she lied.
Mental health is the new word next to narcissism that people just be using all willy-nilly everywhere. Oh, well, it's mental health. Are any of y'all diagnosed? This was attention seeking, if you ask me.
There you go. I think
that's what it gave me. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what it gave me.
Yeah, I think that she definitely should be held accountable. She definitely should be held accountable. And I saw something today that the money don't have to be paid back that was given.
Oh, I be disputing them charges right down to the bank. You ain't gonna play with me like that. These people donated money thinking this young lady was in danger.
Yeah,
there was no danger.
Yeah, she definitely should pay for that. Yeah, she definitely should.
Look, I just don't want Black people to not look for other missing Black women because you have one person that cried wolf and it wasn't true.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of Black women that are missing out here that we really need to be looking for.
And that's the thing that it's going to do for a lot of people is, you know, they're going to disregard people's stories and whatnot, you know, because of shit like this.
And people think that, you know, it's not a big deal, but it is. It really honestly is. Like, it is a big deal because what you're doing is, so someone in the chat is saying the large donations, 20K and up, were actually refunded.
Yeah.
So, but still, all the money should have been refunded. I don't care how big or small.
And I guess that's different than what I heard, because I from what I saw a few hours ago, it looked like none of it had to be paid back. But yeah, you might be right though. I have to look that up again. But yeah, that's a mess. You know, that's definitely a mess. Yeah, that's definitely a mess.
It's a mess.
She should really be held accountable for all of that. So yeah, it's amazing. I think that was a really amazing conversation that we had with Meelah. I didn't expect her to come on at 7:00, so I thought that was really dope. Like, we had a really, really good conversation. We got a lot of good comments in it, you know, on the board over here. I'm just going through all these comments, and like, we got a lot of good comments in there. And it really was cool just to have like a really in-depth conversation and it not be rushed and, you know, all of that. So I thought that really, really turned out dope. Like, what was your takeaway from it all?
I just think that, you know, we ought to, you know, highlight these things more. You know, there's a lot of children nowadays with autism, ADHD, you know, just special needs kids in general. And I think as, you know, Black people, we you know, we shy away from talking about those things, but we really do need to talk about those things because there's a lot of kids out here struggling with it.
Absolutely.
A lot of parents that's out here struggling with knowing how to deal with it.
Yeah, more of it than what's, you know, what we know. Like, it's so many people who are dealing with it, and it's just like I was telling her, like, it's good that she's using her voice to really talk about it, and that people like Faith Evans like talk about it, you know, in terms of her son who's autistic.
This is the responsibility of having a platform and being a celebrity and using it for good. You know, it don't always have to be all negative or what mess you done got into in the last week or 48 hours. But a lot of parents need help. They don't know what programs to get. They in certain states. And I think people need to have those resources. So I think it's just dope that she is out here using her platform responsibly and just, you know, sharing that. And I was grateful to be a part of that, to, you know, just have that conversation. We don't have those serious, in-depth conversations
don't.
as Black families. We don't.
We don't. Like, it's cool to, it really was cool to really expound on, her music and just the touring that they're doing right now and them doing Carnegie Hall and that kind of stuff. But I think it was definitely more like, more serving to people, who have kids who are dealing with this, and people who are dealing with this, with their families, whether it be their kids or nephews and nieces and that sort of thing. Like, it's a lot of people dealing with this that, they don't really get no kind of help, and they don't know about different resources and whatnot. And it's imperative as a parent, of an autistic child or a child with ADHD or anything where they are considered to be on the spectrum, like, to really get involved and be in their faces at the schools and, show them that, like, you serious and that you mean business and whatnot, because then that usually opens up the door to a lot of additional resources and whatnot that you really wouldn't get, because the expectation is that we not going to really be paying attention to our kids, and that we not, really focused on
We don't care.
That we don't
Yeah.
care.
We
So
don't care.
I think
We
it's
don't
good.
pay attention to our kids. We don't,
Right.
care about the education.
Absolutely.
We're just dumb. So it highlights that parents are out here that are caring. We just need the
Absolutely.
resources in those places so that they could get that help.
And celebrity or not, I think it's dope to really get out there and really
Like she
use
said,
your
she
voice.
don't care when she come in there. It ain't about her being a celebrity. It's
Absolutely.
about my kid. It's
Absolutely.
about me being a mom first.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's really, really important to expound on that and just say, hey, I'm a mom first. I forget all that, what the accolades and what you've seen me do on TV. I'm a mom first. This is my child. Hey, what can we do to get the proper education and the tools in the school? Because if you helping your child, 9 times out of 10, you're helping another child in that same classroom that's having them same difficulties.
Yeah.
And then that's where you can link up with parents and meet parents that also are going through the same thing, because
Absolutely.
you guys are all being active within the school. So
Mhm.
it's a dope thing to see.
Yeah. So no, I think that this was amazing. I think this was awesome for our first show, for our premiere show. I'm really excited. I guess to formally introduce myself to everybody who is watching us, because we kind of didn't do that since Meelah came in right away. So as everybody probably done figured out already, I am James. I am the co-founder of this platform right here, Transcending the Culture. I also own UG Digital Media and Publishing. So within that is a magazine, PR firm. We have radio, we have podcasting, obviously, and some literary stuff. Got a whole lot going on.
You do everything.
Trying to. And it's really cool to, I'm all about teamwork. So it's really dope, really cool to unite with SkoolBoi, who I found on a previous platform. How long ago? 3 years ago. And
3 going on 4.
I wasn't trolling, but I was just like, you know what, you mad dope. Like, I think you mad dope. And that was it. It just started off like that.
He randomly was being messy and jumped into my DM. It wasn't like it was a woman or nothing. It was him. So I was like, well, what you want? And so at first I was kind of skeptical to, work with him due to a prior situation.
Yeah. As you should have been.
But coming in and energy and, me and James just kicked it off. We share the same vision and we really want to do something good for the culture. We do understand it's everybody out there talking about the hot topics and the mess. Yeah, we could do that and be like everybody else, but we're not trying to be like everybody else. We'll talk about those things, but we also want to bring y'all, finances. We want to talk about health. We want to talk about things that affect the LGBTQIA plus community. We want to talk about things that affect the Black community because we reside in both communities.
Absolutely.
We also want to bring y'all, bring on other creatives to highlight other Black creatives on YouTube in different sectors that you probably don't go to and didn't know that there were sectors in there.
I'm gonna cut
there are
just for a second, just to kind of give you some praise again for that, because I think that is so amazing to give some other creatives just an opportunity to kind of blend in and maybe talk with us and get on the horn.
There's a lot of stuff that I think a lot of people don't get out of the Black celebrity tea
Absolutely.
sector. There's other people in other sectors that don't even touch on that. They do totally other things. So, you know, and just to be able to expound with other creatives that are out there, and just to be able to do other things with other creatives out there, and just vibe. We want to bring y'all something different. We don't want to be like everybody else. So that's the, you know, we want to see what really you know, is affecting the culture. What is going, this is why we say transcending the culture. You know, we just want to show and highlight the culture, positive things. Yeah, we talk about the messy things, but we're gonna talk about the positive things too.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of positive things that don't get highlights.
Absolutely.
That don't get talked about and that don't get shown because a lot of creatives don't highlight that. It's the mess that they focus on because that's what they want to focus on. But we want to give y'all a little bit of everything. And you know, again, James, God bless him. Lord Jesus. He came into my inbox.
I'm gonna need you.
And I said, you know what? I don't even know if I really want to, you know, this man. I don't know, because for a minute I took a hiatus and I was on break, you know. I retired like Jordan, you know, but when he went from 23 to 45 and then he came back, you know. So I came back and you know, we want to do this like, you know, we want to be like Steph Curry and you know, Klay Thompson, but we both ain't light skinned like them. But we want to bring the light skin energy, and we want to we want to bring y'all a dynasty, and we want to branch off into other things, and we want to bring y'all happiness. We want to make you laugh. We just want you to have a good time. We also want you to get to know us and just really invite us into y'all home. And I think that's the main thing. You know, me and James, just we share the same vision, and we both love what we do. And I have a high respect for him and regard for him because he is a journalist. He has a degree. He actually has a degree.
Say that.
And he has a degree in journalism. He actually has one. He's not playing like he's a journalist or getting on here acting like he got a degree. He actually has a degree in this. Okay. He cites his sources and all of that. You know, I understand that, you know, some people out here, they're acting like they, you know, what they want to say, journalists, but they not, but they really reality stars, but turned quote unquote journalists. But anyways, he is a journalist. And so to deal with someone who has all of these great connections in the industry and that wants to push me and my talent, I appreciate it. And I'm humbly grateful to work with someone of his caliber. And you know, again, you know, and when I tell you, I say whatever's on my mind. So,
but I want you to say what's on your mind, and like more importantly, and you said it, I want to help you like get yourself out there, and like I want to help you shine because like you are dope as fuck. Like, and I said
we can't cuss over here. You can.
I know. That's why I was like, but yeah, you are. But now you are really, really dope. And I said that from the very beginning, like when we first connected. And I don't think at that point I really knew like what direction stuff was gonna go and what I would be doing because, you know, it's like we're coaching ourselves through a lot of this stuff. So it's like there's stuff that I'm doing now that I wanted to do for a long time, and it just now kind of hit me like, okay, well, this is how I could do that, and this is how I could do this, and it would be cool.
We on the wing and the prayer, y'all. I'm just telling y'all, we learn it every day. We learn it every day.
But
but it's amazing to come into something with a partnership with someone, like a true partnership and a true business model that you're creating, and a true, you know, doing it straight up and just, you know, having that connection. You know, soon will be, you know, him not having to be in Cleveland, me not having to be in Dallas, and we eventually gonna be in the same city.
I'm trying to trip and get down there.
We manifesting.
Listen, we are manifesting some stuff, and it's coming together. Like, I'm grateful to you. I appreciate you. Like, I love teamwork and really working with somebody who shares the same vision and who has the same ideas, and not even necessarily the same ideas. Like, you can have your own ideas, and we can blend our stuff together. and figure out how to work together on a lot of stuff, because I think the ultimate goal is we want to accomplish a lot of the same thing. Like we might go about it different ways, but we want to accomplish a lot of the same things. So I think this is amazing. Like this was an amazing first show. I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to Meelah. I'm grateful to Brandon for getting Meelah for us. And like this is dope. And it's just gonna keep getting better and better. We have another show coming up this Saturday. Our regular days are gonna be Saturdays. So
yeah, we're gonna be on Saturday.
We're gonna be on Saturdays, same time, but Saturday evenings. And we may have a guest this weekend, and we may not, or we might have a creative with us, or we might do something like that. So
we might have a creative.
Yeah. So we might do.
I think I can wing somebody on email.
And then the one I told you I was gonna reach out to this evening, I'm gonna do that and see what we can.
I'm gonna reach out to one this evening too and see if we can get him on.
Yeah, and it's a lot of people. Like when I tell you, it's a lot of people who rock with us already, because you've been doing this and people know of you. Believe it or not, they know of you. And
they do.
I've been doing this for 20 years, so like I have some contacts and some connections out there too. I might not have them all, but I got some pretty good ones. So
lovers and haters, I got them all.
Listen, it's all good because we need both of them. So
we do. Push me through the algorithm.
So it's all good, and we got some more good stuff coming. We got a show coming on Saturday, so stay tuned for that. And we'll have one next Saturday. Next Saturday is my birthday, but it's all good. We're gonna do a show on my birthday. We work, baby.
Let me find out.
Listen, we work, baby. I might have a drink in my hand. It might be like some funky Dineva.
Oh, we gonna have a party. We're gonna have a classy based party.
Absolutely. So that's gonna be next Saturday. Yeah. So, any final words before we close out of here?
Man, no. I mean, thank y'all for tuning in and giving us that support on the first show. We gonna get better with time, like fine wine.
Absolutely.
Just give us some time. So we definitely gonna get better, and we definitely gonna bring y'all some amazing content, and we definitely gonna just we just want y'all to rock with us and vibe with us, and just be patient with us. We coming.
And that's what it is. It's a vibe. And make sure you follow us across all platforms. Transcending TC. It's the same thing on all platforms. So whether that be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and
website, we're gonna put all that stuff in the description box below.
Yeah, everything's gonna be.
Make sure you follow us on everything every Saturday.
And if you are in Dallas, look for that billboard. It's coming, baby.
Oh yeah, we got a billboard coming.
Yeah, we got
Dallas and Cleveland. So if you somewhere rolling around Dallas and you see me on the billboard,
listen, baby. And her picture bigger than mine. I don't know what.
And I look finer than him. I look gooder.
You do.
I can look better. I look sexy on my on
the
billboard.
At that point, because I got a haircut today. So
wait till this weekend. I'm gonna level up. Don't discuss today. The check just ain't deposit yet from the job.
Absolutely.
When I stop having to work for the man, and we get this really off the ground, I ain't even have to wait. I'm gonna just pull out the knot. I'm gonna be like Jay-Z.
Absolutely. Listen, I appreciate everybody. Again, I think this was amazing, very dope. And just continue to follow us. Like she said, fine wine, we will get better with time. And any comments, any suggestions, if you want us to reach out to some people, bring them onto the platform, always you can hit us on any of the social media. We both are on social media all day long.
All the time.
So whether you hit Transcending TC on any of these platforms, or you hit me at Authentically James, or you hit her at _boy_
2021. Yeah. And then on Twitter, where I normally reside at the most, you can hit me at _boy.
There all day
and
long.
On TikTok, I'm over there too.
Yeah.
So y'all find me any other time to send me messy stuff off the blog. So I know y'all can send me who y'all want to see on the show. So just drop it down. Let us know. We will send out a media kit and see if we can get them on the show.
Absolutely. The media kit is he's supposed to send it to me tonight, so I'm gonna send that to you. Listen.
Yeah, so we got some stuff. See, look at him. You can see all excited.
Listen, Because I'm gonna
Yeah,
send you
yeah.
the picture. I'm gonna send you the little snaps that he sent me of the media kid.
We all excited. We all excited.
So yeah, it's coming. But listen, we appreciate you guys. We will be back here Saturday. And we might do some impromptu videos and little commercials and skits and little stuff like that throughout the weeks too. But show wise, we will be back Saturday. And then next Saturday is my birthday, August 5th. We will be here on that day as well. I will have
your birthday right after rent, dude. Like,
listen, I know, but listen, I'm gonna have a drink in my hand, and we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have somebody do it.
we're gonna enjoy ourselves, and you know, we
Absolutely.
appreciate y'all being with us tonight and just enjoying our inaugural first show.
And it might be an extended show next Saturday because I'm gonna have a handful of people on. I'm gonna get a handful of people. We're gonna have a little party on YouTube next Saturday. So
Ooh.
get yourself together.
I'm gonna get the details. Y'all ain't gonna get the details, but I'm gonna get the details. I don't know who's gonna be at the party.
Yeah,
because if it's somebody from the 90s, from the 99 to the 2000s,
it probably
from the 90s to the 2000s,
if I could
give me a cute vocal.
If I could get that one, tell me you saw the Tiny Desk concert with Juvenile.
Oh, that was fire.
Listen,
that one,
man,
Charlie Wilson.
I thought
and Tank. All you got to do is throw that on in the middle of the night. I ain't gonna tell you what you got to be doing.
When I
throw that on.
I wish they put those on iTunes, like the Tiny Desk concert.
I really do.
I wish you could download it from there, but it's cool because I'm gonna download it and put it on my phone because when I tell you that sounds dope, like that whole thing was dope. Like the last song.
He's talking about going on tour. Matter of fact, he's talking about going on tour with a live band.
Yeah,
I'm in it.
Yeah,
I'm in it.
Listen, I love live bands. Like I love live bands, so I think that would be fire.
Throw a little Manny Fresh up in there. That was a good Tiny Desk. If y'all ain't watched that Tiny Desk, you need to get on that Tiny Desk. That Tiny Desk was amazing.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all, we finna close out of here. We appreciate you guys. Like we said, make sure you follow us, Transcending TC, or you can hit her on Twitter for sure. Across social media, you can get Authentically James on Instagram. I am James Grant on Twitter, and that's about where I reside: Instagram and Twitter. Maybe a little bit of Facebook. You can find me on Facebook.
I don't go over to Facebook. That's for the senior citizens.
Yeah,
but shout out to
I'm there though. But I'm just I'm there though, so it's all cool. I mean, on that note, we finna close out of here. I can't take this. Listen, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tonight.
Thank you.
All right.